So online learning, it's not some new thing anymore, right? It's pretty much at the heart of education now. But here's the thing. Just putting a course online doesn't mean anyone's actually going to learn. To make it effective, to make that knowledge really stick, you need a strategy. And that's exactly what we're going to break down.
This huge move to digital has been, well, it's opened up some amazing new opportunities, for sure. It's connecting people in ways we never thought possible. But, and it's a big but, it's also thrown a bunch of challenges our way. How do you keep people engaged? How do you make sure they're actually getting it? And how do you support them from behind a screen?
Okay, so here's the big question, right? How do we get past just broadcasting a lecture online? How do we create experiences that are dynamic, that are supportive, and that genuinely change the way people think? That's what this is all about. Now, to make this super clear and easy to follow, we're not just going to throw a long list at you. Nope. We've taken 10 proven methods from an experienced educator and boiled them down into 3 core strategies. First, building the blueprint, then sparking active engagement, and finally, nurturing that human connection.
So let's dive into part 1. We're calling it the blueprint for success. And it's just like it sounds. Think about it. You wouldn't build a house without a plan, would you? Same thing here. If you don't have a solid foundation, things get messy fast.
First things first, structure is absolutely everything. A clear outline, a clear schedule, that's the roadmap students need from day one. When you break down these huge, intimidating topics into smaller chunks or modules, and you're super clear about what the goal is for each one, all that student anxiety just melts away. It lets them focus on what's actually important.
But here's the thing. A great plan is one thing, but it's kind of useless if the students are constantly wondering, why am I learning this? This is what we call the why gap. It's that space between knowing the what and understanding the why it actually matters to them in their life.
So, how do you bridge that gap? You gotta connect what you're teaching to the real world. I mean, don't just teach a math formula. Show them how it's used to predict what the stock market's gonna do. Or, hey, link that history lesson to what's in the news today. When students see a real-world outcome for every single lesson, man, their motivation just goes through the roof. All right, you've got the foundation. Now for part 2, sparking active engagement. This is where we go from building the structure to, well, bringing it to life. We're talking about turning passive screen watchers into active participants. This is where the real fun starts. The whole game here is to make this big shift from passive learning to active learning. So instead of just walls of text and a teacher talking at them, we're thinking multimedia, interactive quizzes, and super important discussions with their classmates. It's about creating, not just consuming. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. Here's a quote from our source material, and it's based on real experience in schools in Uttar Pradesh. It basically says that when you add visuals and audio, students get it. They grasp topics way faster than with text alone. It just clicks for them. So practically, how do you make this happen? Well, you empower them. Let them be the creators. We're talking about group projects, getting students to make their own little explainer videos, or even having them teach a concept back to the class. It's a total game changer for cementing what they've learned. And the last piece of this whole engagement puzzle, it's all about blending your approach. You need a mix of live, real-time sessions, what we call synchronous, and stuff they can do on their own time, which is asynchronous. This gives you the best of both worlds, the energy of live interaction with the flexibility that people need. Okay, which brings us to part 3. And honestly, this might be the most crucial part of all, nurturing the human connection. Because at the end of the day, all the fancy tools and perfect plans in the world don't matter if we forget we're dealing with actual people behind those screens.
Yeah, this is so important. Learning isn't just about the subject matter. When you're learning online, it can be really easy to feel, well, alone. A student's emotional well-being is directly connected to how well they can actually learn. So we've got to stop and ask ourselves, right? Are we really supporting our students in this digital world? Are we actually building a community? Or are we just pushing out content? The answer to that makes all the difference. So how do you build that support system? It's all about the practical actions. It's way more than just grading papers. It's giving real, personalized feedback. It's setting up virtual office hours just to chat. It's checking in one-on-one to see how they're really doing. It shows they're more than just a name on a screen. When you boil it all down, technology is just the tool.
The real message is empathy. When you lead with encouragement, with genuine care for their well-being, that's when a virtual space stops being just a website and starts becoming a real, nurturing community.
So, to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Doesn't matter if you're a teacher, a student, or a parent, what's the one single thing you're going to do to make your little corner of the online learning world more connected, more effective, and, well, more human?